I'll be very honest with you. I did not sit for placements for approximately 1 month. And while my flatmates were both placed within 10 days, my entire batch was placed, not entire, my entire group circle from computer science background was placed in approximately 2 to 3 weeks. My closest friends were placed and they were looking up to me and saying, "What is going around in your head?" So I was like, "I have nothing to do with this. I am very happy for you guys and I want to pursue something else." Hi people, I am Himang. I passed out from DTU, Delhi Technological University in 2018. I was a student in computer science engineering and I was offered an on-campus placement offer from Deloitte India in cyber risk profile. I was offered a role of consultant and I have been with Deloitte ever since. It's been more than 2.5 to 3 years, 2.5 years now that I've been working with Deloitte. I had a brief stint of internship period while I was in college after my campus selection. So I have worked with Deloitte for approximately 3 years now, but I've been onboarded as a full-time employee for 2.5 years. And I've been extensively working on global projects representing Deloitte India across the world. So primarily I'd worked in a startup for my internships. Why I chose that? Because I just wanted to A, enhance my skills, B, let myself into each sphere of an organization. Say, if for example, if I had interned in a technical company, I would be only enhancing my coding skills, for example. But while I was in the startup, I was involved in the marketing, I was involved in the sales, I was involved in operations, I was involved in team enhancement, etc. So it was a new learning every day for me in every aspect of an organization. So yes, it was a web development startup. I was working on web development. I was working on Android development, and I was also working on the operations. I was working on management, etc. with my seniors. So that was my internship journey. Your CV should be inch perfect from grammar, from usage of heavy impact words, use numbers to show them trends, use numbers to show how you have impacted, put them in bold. Your font should be same throughout each section. Your bulleting should be same, indented, and your indentation should be uniform across the CV. It represents how formal you are, how polished you are, how organized you are. If I come across a CV that has bullets poorly indentated, I would just get pissed off and I would not be interested right now in scheduling an interview or conducting an interview. Luckily for me, while I was exploring myself in the initial 2 years, I realized that coding is not my forte. I do not enjoy coding and I am not into much of it. Like there was no zeal for me to get up at 2 and start coding. As much so that I started enjoying more of non-technical stuff. I started enjoying my management stints in the startup that I was doing and the operational stuff that I was doing. So I realized pretty early that I am not suited and I'm not built for coding despite me coming from a computer science stream. So I was adamant that I will not be a very happy person if I get into a technical company or a technical role. So I made sure that I will not make my life hell for 40 years that are coming up. So I started preparing for exams simultaneously during my 4th year, keeping in mind that my exam preparation will help me prepare for my placements as well. But my first priority was always my external examinations, not the placement. So I'll be very honest with you. I did not sit for placements for approximately 1 month. And while my flatmates were both placed within 10 days, my entire batch was placed, not entire, my entire group circle from computer science background was placed in approximately 2 to 3 weeks. My closest friends were placed and they were looking up to me and saying, "What is going around in your head?" So I was like, "I have nothing to do with this. I am very happy for you guys and I want to pursue something else. So while I was preparing for my exams, I prepared aptitude, I prepared quant, I prepared LRDI, all the sections, and I was also preparing puzzles for my examinations. The level of the preparations was adequate for me to get through non-technicals initial test rounds. So I was not much worried, or I was not focusing myself to only either examinations or placements. So I was sure about it that if I prepare for my examinations, I'll anyway be able to crack and clear any placement interview. Not placement interview, the placement first hurdle for written tests. So I was referencing to Arun Sharma. I was reading through R.S. Agarwal for quant. I was very active on Geeks for Geeks. I was just not reading through the questions and solving them mentally, but I made sure to use the pen and paper to solve them and make notes. Even if the puzzles, I was thinking out loud just so that I hear I could hear the process out through and not just keep my thoughts within my head. So I think most of the students, we get relaxed and we get lazy to just trying to solve the sums orally. 7 out of 10 times, yes, we might get through them. 2 times out of 10, we might know the solution if we just pick up a pen and paper, just try hard, give it some time. And eventually there are questions you might just not be able to solve, but you will get through it. You will, at a stage, 15-20 days later, you will get through that. Given a set of 10 questions, you will be able to solve them within the time frame. So I think it is very necessary and important for us to just pick up the pen and just start solving the questions manually rather than mentally. I wrote the exams. I prepared for Deloitte. I read about the company. It was a notorious organization that had a reputation of having an upper limit of students who secured a score of above 90 would not be shortlisted for interviews. So it is important for students to learn and know about the company. I spoke with my seniors who got placed in Deloitte in the last 2 to 3 years. I consulted them for guidance, for knowledge, for how to prepare or what type of questions they generally ask, what is the level of questions they ask in the examinations, and what is examination pattern like. Because yes, college students do refer to the previous years for their semester examinations, so why not for placements as well? So I went about reading about the company on Glassdoor. I spoke with few of more people outside my college on LinkedIn, just to know about the company, just to know about the culture, the latest available question patterns. And yes, the day of the questions, I was a bit confident. I was confident that yes, I will get through it. And eventually there was a small hiccup when the results were announced. So the wrong list got updated and announced, and I was not shortlisted, and I did not have any grudges. Okay, not my plate, I move on. But then the next morning, while I was preparing for something else in my college, I was completely motivated to that yes, Deloitte is behind me and I look forward now. I get a call early in the morning, 7 o'clock, that I have an interview scheduled at 11 a.m. and the list that was published last night was the wrong one. It was the reverse list, that the people who have been rejected for the interview. So yes, you might hear people saying luck do plays a part in placements. I'm telling you my own story that yes, it did happen. And I was not prepared for the interviews because I just slept the previous night. So I went about the interviews and I sat for the interviews and they went very normal, I think. So the tip I would give to students right now is to know about the company that you are sitting for. Try to get as much as knowledge as you can from your seniors who are currently working, because they've just joined the organization. So they will have a limited scope and not have much experience in the company. So they might just always only tell you the positives that they've been through. Say for example, if I've just joined the organization 2 months ago, I won't be into much of work. Speak with people who have been in the company for more than 1 year approximately now, so that you get to know what are the pros and cons, so that you can frame your answers accordingly. know the numbers of the company in the market, know the profile that you are appearing for. I would not want to give answers related to marketing if I am appearing for a software developer or vice versa. I would want to know what I would want to come prepared to face a battle, to face an interview, rather than just giving an interview an impression that I just got through the interview by fluke, nothing else. Each department in an organization, not only Deloitte, have a different organization structure, have a different hierarchy to follow. I might be a fresher in Deloitte, so as my peers were. I was offered a role of a tag of a consultant while my friends were analysts. Primarily, what I've understood, at least from Deloitte, the analysts are mainly from Deloitte USI, and they are the supporting team for the United States front-end team. This is the majority, not the entirety. However, Deloitte India also recruited for analysts, and they were on the client-facing end and also on the supporting end initially. For my role as a consultant, I was directly onboarded to Deloitte India as a client-facing environment. So each company has a different hierarchy. Each company has different labels for organization structure. So even I have friends in technical companies who are working as software developers, but their role says analyst 1, analyst 2, etc. So I think the best would be to know about these roles or the profiles from the people who are currently in the organization, be it your seniors or be it through your contacts, or just approach people on LinkedIn. Nobody will hesitate you. So yes, you need to be team player. You need to have good communication skills, but do not shy away if you are not comfortable in one particular language. You need to show them that you are confident enough. Language can take a back seat. Okay. Then I personally believe you need to have good concentration levels for long hours. I would prefer a person having good concentration over long hours from my experience in Deloitte, because we usually sit on discussions lasting for 2 to 3 hours now. So you need to focus. Then you need to have good skills for data interpretation. I believe you should be able to pick up patterns, pick up things rather quickly. And that's why the aptitude tests that each company conducts comes into picture right now. So a mix of all, but predominantly 3 things stand out for me. I would prefer a person fluent in any language, preferably why English, because it is a universal accepted language now. Have team skills, because you eventually have to work in a team of people. You do not work individually. And you need to have good data skills. At least for me, I will rate them in.